I'm all for creativity in wrestling, and in many ways, that's the best thing about the whole industry, because you're only limited by what's in your brain. As long as you can figure out a way to pull it off, you can do it. Because it's wrestling, it's open, it's free. But that doesn't mean every now and then you shouldn't take a step back, stop, breathe, and actually figure out if what we are going to do is a good idea. And I think with Money in the Bank this weekend, we probably should have done just that. Why? Here's why. In case you aren't aware, the finish to the much-hyped women's Money in the Bank match from Money in the Bank was Carmella's lackey James Ellsworth climbing the ladder, grabbing the briefcase, and just giving it to her. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't think that was a good idea. Now, while you can argue that's a great heel tactic or a great story to come out of the pay-per-view, I don't think that's the point here. Much as we said on Ups and Downs when we reviewed Money in the Bank, it's about context, or at least how WWE set this whole thing up. Right down to the promo package that did air before the bout itself, it was quite clear we, the fan, were meant to take this as a big deal. It was historic, it was a moment. It was one of those things we were going to look back on and tell our grandkids. I was there when I saw the first women's Money in the Bank match, and that's fine. If you want to treat it like that, you should. It is a big deal. The first ever women's Money in the Bank ladder match. That means we've come a long way from like 20 or so years ago, well 15, but we won't talk about that. Just go on the WWE Network. Probably take that stuff off the WWE Network, to be honest, but that's neither here nor there for now. And then after all of that, a man climbed a ladder to help out his girlfriend. The real issue is, what are we all meant to take away from this? If the roles were reversed and we're talking about the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, this never would have happened. And I literally mean never. WWE wouldn't do it. So why is it alright for them to do it in the women's Money in the Bank match, especially the first one ever? I don't know if this was WWE's intention, but of course you could, and probably did, take away from it that this lady couldn't get the job done without her bloke. Again, if that's the story you want to tell, you probably can. There's ways and means to do that, as long as you approach it in the right way. But we have to come back to context. Because to do that on the first go around, well, of course some people are going to take a step back and go, wait a minute, that's a bit funny, that's a bit weird, especially given everything we've done before this. I don't understand. Furthermore, it doesn't actually help Carmella going forward when there were loads of other directions you could have gone in. No matter what you think about any of this, it's always going to feel more iconic if she's the one that climbs the ladder and grabs the briefcase for herself. And if nothing else, when you've got that footage, you can use it over and over and over again in vignettes and promo packages and really ram it down people's throats, as WWE likes to do, that this was something important. Don't really get that when some dude just hands it to you. That doesn't really have the same, historical context if you're watching like, I don't know, a WrestleMania 42 package and you just see James Ellsworth go, here you are, love. She goes, ta, honey. Also, if she had have actually won, she could have rammed that down people's throats for weeks to come. Now, in the scenario that we do have, every face on the roster can do the opposite to her. They can turn around and go, no, you won by nefarious means. I think nefarious is a word. Anyway, that undermines her instantly, and you always want your bad guys to have some credibility to them. Otherwise, they're just like bits of paper in the wind. They're floating around. You want to hate them because you know deep down what they're saying is true. No matter what Kamala says now, there's no truth. You gotta make him feel like a big deal. You gotta make him feel like a threat. Otherwise, it's just some bearded dude talking a load of nonsense. Wink, wink. The thing that really gets me is there's a couple of obvious choices we could have gone instead, and they probably would have been better. Why couldn't James Ellsworth have hoisted Carmella onto his shoulders to help her get on the ladder, or keep it simpler than that? Just pick the ladder up off the floor and push her onto it. Be involved, but not actually be over-involved. That's quite clearly the way you should have gone. So why didn't we go this way? Why was the other option considered the best choice? That's not the best choice. It's convoluted and distracting, and everyone's going crazy about it, like me. And it did hurt the match. Again, no matter which side of the fence you fall on, you've got the side over here and the side over here, the problem is we have the fence to begin with. We shouldn't have had the fence. We should all be celebrating the bout itself and how far we've come in the last couple of years, but instead we're just debating the finish. And it's always good to have a debate. I love having a debate, but again, in this context, I don't think that's what we should be doing. Let's take all this with, say, the first ever Hell in a Cell that we ever had. That ended with Kane coming out, and while it was a schmoz and it was covered in like crazy dust, we all do still talk about it today as if it was a historic moment that meant something. Plus, with that, it had build and it had payoff and it had a load of stuff in between. So it ticked all the boxes. Now look deep down within yourself. Do you really think we're gonna feel the same way about any of this? I don't think we are. I don't even think the Carmella-Ellsworth relationship will last the rest of the year. If anything, it will probably be this incident that eventually breaks them up. Too much tension, they'll bicker over it, and that'll be the end, and it'll serve nothing. I guess ultimately what I wanted from this was a strong match with a strong finish and a strong contender coming out the end, but I didn't get any of that. I got the guy that's considered comic relief, just working it out for everybody else. That doesn't tie into anything that came previously. That is like the gobbledygooker coming down in 2005 and winning the briefcase for Edge. And how would you have felt about that, huh? Would you like the gobbledygooker cracking out of his egg and giving a briefcase to Edge? No. And yeah, I know it's wrestling and it's fake and it's not real history, but it was portrayed to me as real history. So if you want me to suspend my disbelief, you gotta back that up with some credibility. You gotta respect the fact I was willing to buy in and not turn around and go, screw you, Simon, no dessert for you. I don't get dessert very often because I'm all weird with my diet, and you took it away. You took my figurative dessert away, damn it. And I realise that you all have your own opinions here, and there's no right and there's no wrong. We can argue it till the cows come home, but it does feel a bit off. Everything considered, it feels a bit off. I would have just rather these matches ended the way that these matches do, and the fact that it was women didn't come into it aside from the fact that it was brand new and it felt fresh. We had a joke finish, a comic finish. I don't get that. That doesn't make any sense. Now obviously, yes, there's every chance in a few weeks I do look back and go, whoops, I made a mistake. But my gut says that's not gonna happen. I don't think this was the right call. What are you gonna do, brother? Now don't forget to leave a comment below and let us know what you think about all of this. Then like, share and subscribe. Head on over to whatculture.com and read some articles, and follow What Culture on Twitter at WhatCultureWWE. I am Simon from What Culture. This was the Why series, and if you're mad, just remember I didn't mean to make you mad. Just a like devil's advocate piece where I rant and rave and throw my arms around for a bit. Be happy.
Hello, it's Jack here, lead singer of acclaimed covers band American Rachel. I did not write this script, and I'm here to test your wrestling knowledge today. Are you ready? Guess the theme tune that I'm about to hum. Did you get it? Awesome! Yeah, that's right. It was Becky Lynch's theme tune, my girlfriend. So for more theme tunes and awesome fun as well, buy the new What Culture Wrestling Trivia game, available as always at shop.whatculture.com.